Hi, Kate.
Hi.
Such a pleasure to have you here.
My pleasure to join you.
We are here as part of the Trees on the Way project, which is a cycling world tour, meeting social entrepreneurs along the way and planting trees at the end. So it's like a kind of a regenerative cycling world tour.
Fantastic.
And I'm so happy to have you here with me because the donuts, of course, is part of the framework, will be part of the project that will be used.
Great.
So maybe what is a donut actually for people who doesn't know?
Sure. So think of the donut as a compass for 21st century thriving, right? Here it is. So if you think of humanity's use of Earth's resources radiating out from the middle of that picture, the hole in the middle, that's a place where people are falling short on the essentials of life. That's where people do not have the resources they need for health, education, housing, food, transport. So we want to leave no one in the hole. But as we collectively use Earth's resources, we also risk putting pressure on this ecological ceiling, the life support systems of our planetary home. We risk destabilizing the climate, acidifying the oceans, creating biodiversity loss, a hole in the ozone layer. So we must stay not only over the social foundation, but inside the ecological ceiling. In the simplest of terms, the goal of the donut is to meet the needs of all people within the means of the living planet. So that would mean we can thrive. We don't try to grow and grow and grow forever, no matter how rich we already are. We seek to thrive in balance, humanity with the living world.
Oh, all right. Thanks for that. So do you think, what does that mean for the future business,
So for the future business, like the future policymaking, like the future of our cities, we need to change the deep dynamics of our economies. We've inherited economies that are linear and degenerative by design. We take, make, use, and throw away. That pushes us over planetary boundaries. We need to create economies that are regenerative, where we restore and repair the living world, where we use and refurbish and repair the materials that we use again and again and again, so that we massively reduce our impact on the planet. So from degenerative to regenerative, and we need business to be bringing that into practice.
Okay.
But also, many 20th century businesses were designed to accumulate value and opportunity in the hands of a few, to concentrate wealth, to maximize returns to the owners of the company. That creates huge inequality. We have a world in which the richest 1% own half of the world's wealth. So we need 21st century businesses that actually share value and opportunity far more equitably with everybody who co-created it, with the employees of the company, with the workers in the supply chain, with the living world, with the community around. So businesses that are regenerative, not degenerative, that are distributive and not divisive. To me, that is the deep design of the kind of business that we need in the future.
So it will be more local, not global like we used to see. So what do you think? It will be local and global, as we sometimes say?
Yeah.
Or what do you think about local?
I think there will be a lot more local businesses. I hope that they will be smaller scale, more locally owned, more community owned, creating their own energy with more of their own sources of wealth, their own means of production, rather than extensive global supply chains that are powered and controlled by a few corporations.
And is it possible for business to do this? What is your approach about it?
So when we talk at Doughnut Economics Action Lab with companies, we say, look, we don't want to focus on the design of your products. What we think matters most is the design of your business itself.
Okay.
What your business is designed to do and be in the world. It's going to shape whether or not you're stuck in degenerative practice or can become regenerative, whether you're going to be divisive or can become distributive. So, I have them. 5 design traits, okay? Number 1, what is your purpose as a company? I mean, why does this enterprise even exist? What is it in service to in the world? That purpose needs to drive the rest of the design. Your networks, your relationships with your employees, with your customers, with your suppliers, with the living world that you're impacting. How do you live out your purpose in these relationships that you hold?
So that will be a bit your ecosystem?
Your ecosystem, your industry allies. Some people think they're competitors. They might be your allies.
Okay.
How do you work with others? Exactly, your ecosystem. How is this company governed? Who is in the room when decisions are made? Who has voice in decision making? What are the metrics of success? 20th century companies were often governed according to the quarterly report, financial returns for investors every quarter. that's going to trap them in degenerative and divisive ways. We need governance that actually reflects the voice of many decision makers. Does nature have a seat at the table? Do the employees? Do supply chain workers? How can their voice and their interests be reflected in how this company is governed? So we've got purpose, networks, governance. Let's go deeper. Ownership. How is this company going to be owned? By the founder? By its employees? As a cooperative? By venture capital? By private equity? All of these are different ownership models, and they all have a huge impact on what sits at the bottom. And it sits at the bottom because it's the most powerful. It's finance. How is this company being financed? Where is the money coming from? And therefore, what is it expecting and demanding and extracting? Is it driving sales and revenue in order to reinvest in that purpose? Or is it actually extracting profit for the owners of the company?
Always a small amount of people sometimes, which is operationally in the company sometimes. So it's just...
It could also be. So these 5 traits, your purpose, your networks, governance, ownership, and finance, we believe how a company is designed according to these 5 traits will shape whether or not it's pulled back into the past, pulled back into degenerative and divisive ways, and cannot be part of bringing humanity into the donut. Or it's a company that precisely not only has a great product or service that it offers, but it's designed itself with its purpose at its core, with its network of ecosystem, with the way it's governed and owned and financed, all aligned with delivering on that purpose. And if it's a social enterprise, it reinvests its profits in its purpose so that it's delivering impact in the world. So it's in service to life, in service to meeting the needs of all within the means of the living planet. These are the companies that I think will be exciting for you to be finding on your travels. What is this company offering, its products, its services, and how is it deeply designed? And will that really enable it to keep, as it grows, as it spreads or scales, will it keep true to its purpose because it's great product and a great design?
And for you, is it possible to earn money with a company like Viability and positive impact with this design? You can combine both, right? Having positive impact for planet and people, but also earning money in order to have like a viable company, right? Is it
absolutely
to mix both, right?
Yes, you can mix both, but I think what we think is viable, right? Financially viable. 20th century finance had extremely high expectations for itself. I mean, we are in the process of risking killing much of the living world, and finance still wants its share. Why? That does not belong in the 21st century. Finance is a service. It should be in service to life. So there are companies emerging now that are designed in ways that they pay good wages to their staff. They create good livings and livelihoods, but they're not trying to grow and extract endless finance. They're reinvesting because their company is driven by purpose. So yes, it's absolutely possible to have a good livelihood from setting up an enterprise and drive that social and environmental impact.
Thank you, Kate. What is your definition of success? Personally, what is the definition of success, you would say?
Oh, I would come right back to this, right? Whether you're a city or a company.
Or a person as well.
Or a person, you ask yourself, is the way I'm living my life, is the way I'm running my business, is the way this city is evolving? Is it bringing everybody out of the hole in the middle? Is it enabling everybody to meet their essential needs while we come back within the living planet? I mean, that's one heck of a goal, right? That's one big ambition for humanity. If we're not doing that, if a business is not helping to meet the needs of all and come back within the means of the planet, what the hell is it doing? To me, this is what 21st century business should be about.
Even a person, like it's like a framework, to target. It's huge. It's so powerful. I mean, you follow that in your life as well, but into your organization as well. So
and you can ask yourself, what's the way I eat? I travel. I go on holiday, where I work, what I give my energy towards, how I invest, how I divest, how I protest, how I volunteer and vote. All of these ways, in what's the impact that I in my life am having on humanity's ability to thrive together.
A new guide, very much.
It is a new guide, and I think it's one that is being used by companies, being used by cities, by governments, by communities to transform our idea that success is endless growth, because it's not. Nothing thrives and succeeds by trying to grow endlessly. We need to come into balance. So it is a new guide and I think some people already live by those values and have those values.
Definitely.
I mean, I teach many students who are really motivated by these values, but then when they come to the world of work, if they have to go and work in what I'm going to call a very 20th century company,
exactly.
It's like, put your values away. Put your values away and work to this much stricter, narrower definition.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's create companies that actually enable the rising generation to bring all of their values to work and to put them into practice in what they do at work. That's the future of business.
So inspirational. And to conclude, because I know you are busy here in Paris, do you think we need to change first ourselves before changing your organization or changing the world?
I think it begins with a change in our mindset. If we were ever educated in 20th century economics and 20th century success, it's predicated on this endless growth. And it's very inheritable, right? The consumerist mindset that I'm doing well if I have more and my house and my car is bigger. We need to land back on planet Earth and realize that we're a member of the web of life and dependent upon the health of this planet. So changing our own mindset first. And if people have been working in big companies, sometimes their values have been locked away and we need to change and let them come back out. We need to change in the way we know to collaborate with each other, to work with each other. I think so we change in ourselves, in our relations within our enterprises, and then make that connection with other organizations that share your values, because they're arising, right? These seeds of the future are sprouting, and it's so thrilling to see them start to connect and to make that possible.
So the power of narrative is huge as well.
It is, because it enables us to imagine and see a future that is just emerging and to act into that future to make it real.
Kate, thank you very much. I hope you will be coming to cycle with me, maybe.
I'd love to. I'd love to.
So thank you really for your time
Thank
for this amazing discussion we had.
Have good adventures.
Thank you. Thank you, Kate.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.